I wanted to take a moment to tell you about my best friend. And the best way that I know how is through his words by reading his journal. So, here we go. It is Friday morning. The alarm goes off. My dreams are interrupted by the realities of the day ahead. With a busy agenda of errands, researching, reading, I decidedly step out of bed, but falter as my leg seems to give out beneath me, buckling. I catch myself and straighten up again, now set to go. What was that? It is 2 days later, a Sunday. After a late start, I head outside to the car and, again, my leg gives out beneath me as I hit the sidewalk. I'm able to catch myself and correct my stance, but I am quickly reminded of the episode 2 days ago. It was my same side, my left, that was weak. Over the next week, my gait becomes guarded as I distrust my left leg. Sometimes it seems almost asleep, heavy, like rubber. I resolve that it must be some sort of strain or pinched nerve. Several weeks pass without really any improvement, despite trying various over-the-counter medications. In fact, maybe from my unnatural gait, my right leg also seems to be very heavy, fatigued, sluggish to move as I'm used to moving. As I'm walking to class with one of my classmates, I realize that I can't keep up with his quick pace. My frustration is apparent as my classmate asks, "Are you okay?" I wonder what is going on. This is not my imagination. It's noticeable. I prioritize getting to a doctor despite my crazy schedule with deadlines for 2 papers approaching. Tests are inconclusive, but I'm referred to a neurologist. I finish this semester fearful, frustrated, always fatigued. Despite being into the start of the next semester, I get to the neurologist. I endure an EMG, electromyogram, MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, and lumbar puncture. Deductively, a diagnosis of multiple sclerosis is made, the chronic progressive type. My research efforts are diverted towards MS, its predicted course and treatment alternatives. I begin injections as recommended. Over the summer, I resolve to use a cane and notice a progressive fatigue. Time passes. My lack of lower extremity motor control progresses. I'm unable to drive. While my significant other has been great about supporting me through the workup, I realize that getting around to classes is getting to be too much. I'll have to hold off on classes. I had hoped to get through finals with my classmates, but realized that I'll have to try it with the next group, hoping the progression will slow some. Time passes. My left arm, luckily not my dominant side, begins to have episodes of numbness. Me and my family members recognize the importance of maintaining muscle flexibility and strength despite spasms and weakness. My family members muster their resources, and a pool is built into my home. I swim daily. Over time, I try various diets, especially the macrobiotic diet, the chelation therapy, aiming for a healthy body. So, I give up my favorite fatty foods. A family wedding is coming up. All I want to do is make it down the aisle. 20 steps would do it. I lean on my cane as those gathered for the wedding watch me, silently urging me on. But I cannot keep moving. My family members bring me a wheelchair. My significant other alters work to maintain an income, but also to be more available for me. I realize my dependence on my significant other. I don't want to be a burden. I long for independence, but realize that this is my life. This is how it is, and it's the best it will be. I can attend occasional social events and visit with family, but always need to consider timing and accessibility. My significant other cooperates to get me to places, buying various vehicles. Finally, a wheelchair van is purchased. My family members can transport me when they are available. Urinary incontinence is a problem, so I go from an indwelling urinary catheter to a suprapubic catheter. Then my urologist cautions against a long-term foreign body in the bladder as carcinogenic, so I agree to undergo a ureter vasectomy over a Christmas break, so my significant other can be off work. I continue to leak urine and so require a pouch and a diaper. Urethral Botox is tried to seal the leak, but ultimately a second major bladder surgery is required. Over time, I must relocate, hours from my family members and far from my friends, but to allow for my significant other to earn an income while I have been so much more dependent. I am wheelchair bound, able to use my right upper extremity only grossly. I am essentially a functional quadriplegic with a urine pouch, bowel protocol, flaccid, often painfully spastic limbs. I can press controls on my electric wheelchair, a series of home health aides, untrained and trained, for help with daily care for home maintenance is tried, but lost for various reasons. My phone and computer are my links to the outside world. My significant other grows accustomed to turning and transferring me, but she develops a heart dysrhythmia. One evening, after hoisting me into the bed from my wheelchair, my significant other lays down beside me and says, "I'm exhausted. I think I'll lay down just a minute." I hear an odd, gurgling noise next to me and ask, "What was that? Are you awake?" No answer. No response to my increasingly frantic inquiries. I cannot move myself. I cannot turn. I soon realize that my significant other is not breathing, but lies stiff and lifeless next to me. My arm is pinned beneath her, but I cannot free myself. My phone is over on my wheelchair, out of reach. I cry out in our home, but no one hears. We are discovered the next day when my significant other's co-workers wonder what is up when she doesn't show up and there is no answer to phone calls. Pressure injuries have developed on my hand and my arm from the weight of my significant other's body. Family members gather from a distance for the funeral. Where will I go? Who will take such care of me? I need to be placed in extended facility care. Life insurance monies and savings will get me into a private room at a nicer place, but when money runs out, I'll have to switch to Medicaid in a semi-private room. I'm younger and sharper than most of my residents. I relish calls and visits. I play bingo to win dimes for stamps and dial-a-ride fees. But my muscles grow weaker. My cough on healthy days is nothing more than a quiet puff of air. A nagging pain over my lower back is attributed to my disease, so that some days, despite analgesics, I cannot tolerate sitting, and so stay in bed. I was diagnosed with COVID-19 when it set in our nursing home. I developed double pneumonia, hospitalization, antibiotics, fevers, suctioning, profound weakness. This seems to be the end.